My girlfriend told me moving forward I'll be the one choosing when we get together. Stop pushing me. I stayed silent, simply gave a small nod. 2 weeks went by without a single text, call, or meetup. Then one night, a gentle knock came at my door. When I opened it, there she stood, eyes shining with tears, and holding something that froze me in place. Dear friends, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Please help by subscribing to my channel. Every subscription truly matters and means the world to me. Thank you. I'm 27 years old, and just 3 months back, I believed my life was completely sorted. I'd been dating Lauren for 2 full years. We connected at a friend's barbecue, clicked right away, and in less than half a year we were basically sharing a home. She worked as a graphic designer. I handled commercial property deals. Nothing exciting, solid pay, predictable routine. We had our patterns: Sunday breakfasts, midweek film evenings, weekend getaways to her family's place by the lake. Everything seemed perfect, secure. But starting around February, a change crept in. She began staying late at the office frequently. Replies to my messages slowed down noticeably. Whenever I suggested meeting, she'd claim she was worn out or had coworker plans. I'll own it, I became needy. I'd fire off several messages wondering when we could spend time, proposing outings, trying to pin down dates. In hindsight, I was definitely overdoing it, but I sensed her drifting and had no clue how to handle it otherwise. One evening in the first part of March, I showed up at her place with takeout, Thai, her go-to, and proposed we relax with a show. She hardly glanced away from her computer. Can we have a conversation? She asked, shutting the lid. Of course. What's wrong? She inhaled deeply. You've been intense recently. All the non-stop messages, checking my location, wanting to hang out almost daily. It feels overwhelming. My stomach sank. I just miss being with you. We hardly spend any time together these days. That's exactly why I require distance, she stated clearly. So this is how it's going to be. From here on, I'll choose when we see each other. Quit pressuring me. I'll contact you when I'm prepared. I felt like pushing back, pointing out that partnerships should involve both sides, that this seemed like punishment. But losing her terrified me more, so I simply nodded. All right, I murmured. I'll give you time. Her expression eased slightly. She reached over and gently pressed my hand. Thanks. I really just need room to breathe. That happened on March 8th. I recall it clearly because it was my sister's birthday, and I'd cut her celebration short to visit Lauren. The initial days weren't awful. I stayed occupied, hit the gym harder, reconnected with friends I'd sidelined, dove deep into a major real estate transaction at the office. But around day 5, the quiet became crushing. No morning greetings, no random funny images shared, zero contact. I stupidly scrolled her profiles. She kept posting shots of lattes, her desk setup, a city sunset. She seemed perfectly content. Content without any trace of me. By day 10, sleep escaped me. I typed out dozens of messages, erased them all. My friend Kevin urged me to let go, insisting she was finished but lacked the courage to admit it. Still, I refused to believe that. Not then. Day 14, full 2 weeks. I just returned from the office, slackened my tie, poured a whiskey I barely touched. Around 7:30 p.m., night had already fallen. Then came the sound. A quiet tap on my door. My pulse raced. No visitors expected. I opened it. Lauren stood there. In my doorway, eyes swollen and wet as if she'd been weeping. Dressed in casual jeans and a baggy sweater, hair tied back carelessly. In her grip was a plain white pharmacy bag. "May I step inside?" she asked softly. I moved aside. She entered, placed the bag on the kitchen counter, and remained standing, hugging herself tightly. "What's happening?" I asked, forcing calm into my tone. She faced me. Tears rolled freely down her cheeks. "I'm expecting a baby." The world spun. I gripped the counter for balance. "Excuse me." "I'm pregnant," she said again, her voice breaking. 3 tests, all positive. I expected some emotion, happiness, terror, something. Instead, only bewilderment hit me. We'd always been cautious. She took birth control, and intimacy hadn't happened between us in over a month. Lauren, I spoke carefully. We haven't been intimate in weeks. She stared at the floor. I'm aware. The quiet between us felt endless. Then whose? I couldn't complete the thought. She broke down, hands covering her face. His name's Troy. He's a photographer from my workplace. It began in January. Only that one occasion, I promise. A single foolish slip after drinks at a client event. I convinced myself it meant nothing, that I could forget it entirely. But then my cycle did arrive. I raised my hand. Enough, just enough. My mind raced to catch up. January. The affair had started in January. Every late shift, every bit of distance, it wasn't space. It was concealment. So this whole "I need space" demand, I said, strangely composed, was really just a way to hold me back while you sorted things out. No, well, sort of. But I felt so lost. I didn't know how to escape it. She glanced up, surprised. Escape what? I strode to the door and swung it open. Take the tests. Take your explanation. Leave my place. Please hear me out. Nothing left to hear, I replied, keeping the door wide. You were unfaithful. You deceived me. You convinced me I was wrong for desiring time with my girlfriend. And now you're carrying another man's child. We're finished. She lingered briefly, tears still falling. Then she snatched the bag and stepped past. At the threshold, she hesitated. I'm truly sorry, she breathed. I shut the door firmly behind her. Update 1. Sleep never came. I sat motionless on the sofa, eyes fixed on nothing, reliving every second of those last 2 months. Every justification, every sidestep, every instance she convinced me I was irrational for craving her company. The following morning, I phoned in sick. Then I did something I regret. I dug through every possible digital footprint, past conversations, profiles online, messages. That's how I located Troy's account, photographer, around mid-30s. Boastful description about seizing genuine human moments. 2 weeks earlier, he'd shared a photo from an art event, Lauren visible in the background. Caption read, "Wonderful nights surrounded by wonderful souls." Nausea rose in me, but a comment caught my attention. A woman called Rachel wrote, "Surprised you're out again. Thought you and Melissa were still sorting stuff." I revisited his page, scrolled older posts. There was Melissa, his partner or former partner. Images ceased near December. No announcement of a split. No sign they'd parted. I captured screenshots of it all. Update 2. 3 days afterward, Lauren messaged. She requested a meeting to discuss future plans. I consented to a nearby cafe by my workplace. She appeared drained, shadows beneath her eyes, hair neglected. A piece of me almost pitied her. The rest remembered the reason. "I'm going ahead with it," she announced before I could settle in. I realize that's tough to accept. But it's not up to me, I cut in. It's not my child, she winced. I understand. I simply felt you deserved the full story. Troy wants no part. When I informed him, he claimed I was attempting to ensnare him. Demanded a DNA test before any involvement. Clever move, I muttered. I earned that response, she said softly. Listen, I know I ruined us completely. I'm not begging for forgiveness or reconciliation. I only wanted you to have the complete truth. Have you informed Melissa? I questioned. Her color drained. Who? Troy's partner or former partner? Difficult to say from his Instagram. She faltered. I had no idea he was involved with someone. I retrieved my phone, displayed the screenshots. January right through December. Numerous couple pictures. So he either betrayed her with you or they were on a break and conveniently omitted that detail. Lauren looked ready to be ill. Oh no, exactly, I said, rising. Appears both of us got manipulated. Best wishes with it all, Lauren. I genuinely mean that. I left before she could reply. Update 3. 2 weeks following the cafe encounter, Melissa sent me an Instagram message request. She denoticed an old, harmless comment of mine on one of Troy's posts and somehow linked me to Lauren. Her note was direct: "Hello. This might feel strange, but I believe we should discuss Troy and your former girlfriend. We met for drinks that night." Melissa came across as intelligent, forthright, and more furious than I'd ever felt. It turned out Troy had assured her they were repairing their relationship. Claimed he needed time but still cared deeply. Meanwhile, he was involved with Lauren. When Lauren revealed the pregnancy, he'd phoned Melissa in a frenzy, admitting everything and pleading for another chance. Called it a single lapse. Melissa remarked bitterly. Said Lauren pursued him while he was intoxicated. Typical excuse. Lauren used almost the identical story, I responded. A single incident, she was uncertain. Alcohol played a role. Melissa gave a bitter chuckle. They belong together. Except now she's carrying his child and he's panicking about support payments destroying his creative path. We spoke at length, exchanged experiences, matched up deceptions. Recognized how much manipulation had shaped our recent months. By closing time, we weren't exactly friends. But we truly comprehended one another. "What's your plan?" I asked as we parted. She offered a chilly smile. "Troy has a major exhibition next month, gallery debut, possible backers, the works. I intend to ensure every attendee learns precisely who he really is." I didn't press for specifics. No need. Final update. 3 months have passed since Lauren appeared at my door that evening. I haven't communicated with her since the cafe. Through shared acquaintances, I learned she relocated to her parents' home upstate. The child is expected in November. Troy, it seems, relinquished parental rights post-DNA confirmation, provided her a financial agreement to prevent future obligations. Melissa followed through precisely as promised. She arrived at Troy's exhibition with printed evidence, conversations, pictures, a clear chronology of his deceit toward both women. No drama, no shouting. Simply distributed them quietly to everyone entering. His professional life didn't collapse entirely, but key sponsors withdrew. From what I hear, he relocated to Portland. And me. I'm managing all right. Actually more than all right. I began counseling, recognized I'd overlooked numerous warning signs out of fear of solitude. Turns out solitude beats staying with someone who leaves you questioning your sanity. Kevin arranged a coffee date with his cousin last week. We conversed for 3 hours straight and she followed up afterward saying she'd enjoy meeting again. It felt ordinary, effortless, the way relationships ought to be. I no longer harbor resentment toward Lauren. Thoughts of her bring no real emotion anymore. That's likely the clearest sign of healing. She chose her path. I chose mine. Now we each live with the results. Edit 1. Many have asked whether I received genuine closure or an apology. No, and truthfully, I no longer require it. You create your own closure rather than waiting for another person to deliver it. Edit 2. Someone inquired if I'd ever reconsider Lauren if she contacted me. Absolutely not. The foundation of trust is shattered. You cannot reconstruct something that lacks solidity from the start.